Today we're in downtown Johannesburg in Marshalltown, where we're talking to one of South Africa's most established fashion designers. Now, he has made a name for himself both locally and internationally. So today we get to know Ephraim Molingoana a little bit more, where he tells us about his journey in the fashion industry. Hello and welcome to Morning Live, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Now, you have managed to really solidify yourself as one of the most recognizable faces in fashion in South Africa. What do you think you owe your staying power to?
I think believing in you first and foremost. I know it sounds so cliche, but believing in yourself first and foremost, that you are destined to be what you want to be, and you don't get to be taken away by the up and coming things like trends or whatever that disturb your path of thinking. So for me, really, it was just sustaining myself and really anchoring myself into the industry and saying I want to be the part of the industry, whether it's cold, warm, or whichever way or whichever day it is, but I just wanted to be a part of it and then really make myself and establish myself in the industry.
Now, what some people might not know, because a lot of people know you as a fashion designer, is that you started off as a model, and then you went into styling, and then now obviously you're a fashion designer. Why the transition to finally being a fashion designer? You know,
when I started many moons ago, I was just merely a young boy from a township, so we took a sea vibe. You know, even at school, I was participating in a lot of things that are very creative, whether it's debating, whether it's athletes, whether I was just being overgenerally into all the arts. You know, I love anything, poets, arts, you name it. And I think that really, the fashion started gravitating into my space, surely. And then, meeting the likes of Brenda Fassie of then and the Levuma Tosas and all that in those time when the early 90s we just coming to the new South Africa. And then as a youth at that time, we're establishing ourselves and wanting to find who and what we want to be, and we're kind of like called lost generations, because we are the youth that just came into started voting. We are in our 20s, and then we're happening. We want to make our names. So the whole lot of that group from the group I just sent to your Levuma Tosas, your Boom Shakas of today, then everybody, the Tandis was, we all find ourselves in that space of creative world.
You mentioned trends as well. Looking at the local fashion industry, specifically South Africa, would you say it has grown, or do you think it's pretty stagnant at the moment?
Look, fashion is evolving all the time, and trends are evolving all the time. And I always say, your own style is your own style, it's your own fashion. Because the way I'm gonna wear the sweater, the way you're wearing it, and when I put it, I'm gonna put it differently, and it's gonna look different on me than on you. So, in terms of the trends as well, we can look. We got international people who say the trends are coming, the forthcoming trends. Fortunately, I never followed much of trends. I always try to create my own thing, or rather recreate whatever that I can put in my head, without trying to see what's happening out there.
So the country, not even just the country, but the whole world is, COVID-19 affecting everybody around the world. And I can understand that it's affected a lot of industries, not just fashion, but a number of other industries. But how have you maybe managed to stay afloat?
What I've been doing, I've been looking and seeing how I can, rotate and recreate whatever I've got and make it appealing and make it fresh. And because we are in a new world completely, where people don't even fit clothes anymore when they go to the store. We don't even know if stores they're gonna be able to do as much as it's supposed to be, or was it doing, because people don't fit clothes. They just buy and go. Consumers are scared to go out. So what to do? So you have to come with a new means of doing things, and that's what we've been doing. We started making things, pushing out in the social media. Go to actual design consumers and knock at the door with it 5 meters away. Said, I brought your garment, have a look at it, and when they said they're happy, you keep it, and then otherwise you have to bring it back, put it away for like 72 to 24 hours, and I don't know, it's a crazy world that we're in today. I don't know, no one ever anticipated we're gonna be in here. And then thank goodness we started making the little masks, you know.
I was actually just about to ask you about that, because you're doing a little bit to
we
contribute to curbing corona.
It took me a bit of a while, because I just said, you know, I remember I was talking to a fellow designer of mine, Tula Cindy. We're like, no, let's just leave everything to the medical people, and then they'll see. And then we realized, you know what, there's going to be a big need.
Maybe lastly, for every young girl or young boy out there that has an intention to get into, or intentions rather, to get into the fashion industry, what, you know, sort of pointers would you give to them?
You know, when I started, and like I said, when I started as a designer, it has been a long, lonely path. You know, you make collection. After fashion week or shows, you're alone backstage. The world is all on you. You don't know if people who look at the clothes, who wash your garments, they love it. Are you going to be a big failure? So you always in anticipation with whatever you do. So whenever I talk to my, especially fellow young and coming designers, I always ask them, guys, tell me, how do you feel? Do you think you can make it? Don't look at me because I've made it. Do you think on your individual you can make it? And what are your strengths that you think you can make it? And then, unfortunately, I'll say that most of young designers, they want to be established sooner, like yesterday. You know, they want to be like now. You build. It's like a house. A house, you can just don't put foundation and you just put the roof. You build step by step.
Thank you so much, Ephraim, for joining us, and we do wish you all the best on your future endeavors.
Thank you very much. Like I said, it's a new beginning for us. Please, Mr. Government, we haven't received relief fund.
Oh, thank you.
You know, I must point a little bit, if I may say, in additional, it's a really struggle for a lot of designers, musicians, actors, anybody who's out there. It's a big struggle. If somebody can listen, and we're not asking in a begging bowl, but give us some platform so that we can get to make things and then make a living. That's all we're asking for.
All right, well, I do hope that you're pleased already. Thank you so much for joining us.
All right.